Are you someone that doesn't remember any dreams, thinking maybe you don't dream, or you have dreams that they've got like mundane details? You think it's mundane details. Maybe you do dream work. Maybe you have quite a lot of dreams, but you don't necessarily work with them. So wherever you are, it doesn't really matter. You know, this it's available to all of us to delve into this incredible world of information, transformation, the tools that it can help us with, and it's something I'm really passionate about. So yeah, it's something I work with on my channel as well. But I'll get to that a little bit later if that's something you're interested in. But I wanted to go into my experience with dreaming and what I'm talking from, the experience that I'm talking from, to give you a bit of an idea of what I've come to understand as the various spaces within the dream space, the various realms that you can work with, and how it's benefited me and how you are able to work with it in your own life as well. I'm going to be doing a bit of a workshop series as well. So this is just the first video where I'll just be talking about, just opening up your perception a little bit in terms of what you maybe don't know, and what you can expect. So, firstly, I've been dreaming. I've been lucky enough to be dreaming for my entire life. And I've been interpreting my dreams for about 15 years now, and very consistently for the last number of years. And my practice has grown quite a bit. I'll also share some tips and tools with you guys about that as well. But yeah, so I'm going to talk a little bit about various experiences. I'm not going to go into all of them, but then just to give you an idea. So my first confirmed astral projection was when I was about 3.5 years old. My mom put us to bed, and I had, the quality of it feels very different. Like you get to understand the various nuances of what space you're in, what you're dreaming in. And, when it comes to, I just want to preface with dreams, lucid dreaming, astral projection, there is a spectrum here. But there is, when it comes to dreams, that's more of your internal subconscious that you're working with and you're communicating with there is also the collective unconscious as you work through on the lucid dreaming and the astral projection. Then it's all, then it's more towards the outer consciousness, but it's all technically the same, as above, so below, the universe within as without. Now, yeah, so I was very lucky to have this confirmed for me, because the way that I like to work is I like to keep an open mind, but I don't like to confirm things and keep it as a set path until it's had something that's proven for me. And it's not to say like I shut down any potentiality, but it's just a very solid way for me to keep working. It's kind of like, I think of it like walking through quicksand. You're like feeling out the solid spaces, but all paths are possible. So this astral projection, what happened was, like I said, my mom put us to bed, and I was in a room which was like made of brick, and it's dark, and the roof was made of these clouds, and I floated above the clouds, and everything is cloudy and it's dark. It's like I'm above clouds and it's dark, and in the distance I see these lights, and it's like shining through the clouds, and I hear a very loud and authoritative voice that says to me, Siobhan, don't go there. That's me. I'm Siobhan. Hi. It says, Siobhan, don't go there. It's a bad place. And then I was curious. And the moment I was curious, like I went quite quickly, like zoomed in, and then I floated into this building. And I'm going to use words like, at the time I didn't know what I was seeing, but I'm going to use words now that I know. I can put words to it, like actual words. So I was inside a casino, and I saw my mom, and my mom was at a blackjack table, and she was wearing a very specific outfit. She had her hair done in a very specific way, and she was playing at the table, and she had her purse on her right-hand side. And while she was playing, a guy ran behind her, and he grabbed her purse and ran off. And when I woke up the next morning, I said to my mom and my dad, and I said to them, I had this dream. And my mom looked at my dad, and then she looked at me, and then she said to me, after I put you to bed last night, I went to the casino, and she named the casino. So this is also, I know the time period quite well, so I know the age I was at. And she said she was wearing that outfit, and her hair was done that way, and she was at the blackjack table, and she had her purse on her right-hand side, and the person ran past and stole her purse. So it was incredible for me, because, like I said, it's not easy to always prove, and yeah, so that yeah, it was amazing. It's like these experiences are it's beyond your normal reality, and when it's like proven to be something where it's external validation, it was incredible. So yeah, so there's instances like that where you can have like astral projection, where you do have there's various realms that you can go through to with astral projection, but there is that one where you have that ability to have remote viewing. I've had this with people that I know as well, like now that I know how it works, when I see them, I'll say, oh, you were doing this and this on this day. And they're like, yes, that's true. Yeah. And, there was also one of the more, also a very incredible moment that I shared with my sibling was that, we spoke the morning after I had this dream, and we were, talking, and then they said to me, oh, I had a dream about you last night. And I was like, I had a dream about you. And then they said, yeah, we were on a time traveling train. And I'm like, yeah, and we went past this, and then like, yeah, and then we crashed. And I'm like, in the jungle, and then they're like, in the panther chased us. And like, it was this whole thing, and we're just like, and that was the first time we had a shared dream. So like after that, like every time we'd speak, like, oh, we were doing this last night too. Isn't that weird? Because like, why would we be doing this? Just the scenes are like random or whatever. So it was pretty amazing, especially because like they didn't live close to me either, so it was difficult as well to see them. So it was nice to be having these adventures like in the dream space. Yeah, and then obviously there's like the general dream work that you do, where you are also connecting in with your subconscious. I'll get a little bit more into that in a little bit, but I've also had incredible, and I'm going to say again, guys, this is my experience, and again, these are things that I've gone and I've proven. So for instance, I've had memories of past lives, and then I will actually have the names of the places, and I'll see things that took place there, which I've never seen in place in my entire this life. And then I'll go and look it up, and it's true. And it's like, oh my gosh, that's exactly how I was seeing it, I've been blessed to have ancestors come and visit me. If you've got, well, we all do have guides, but you'll recognize them. Your guides can come and visit you. You can have conversations with your guides as well. And yeah, there's also, like I said, there's other realms to see. There's so much. I feel like, even with the lucid dreaming, especially, lucid dreaming is pretty incredible in terms of, it's the same as like when we imagine something, your brain doesn't know the difference between if it's really happening or not. So when it comes to stuff like lucid dreaming as well, you are able to go and master certain things. You can take an evening and you can go and master a bit like playing the piano or whatever the case may be. And just like such amazing things. My favorite is to fly. Whenever I start lucid dreaming, I immediately fly. I've got so many different ways of flying. Okay, yeah. Also, I visit places. I really like visit places a few times over, and then I've gone to them in real life too, and I'm like, oh, I know this place, I've seen it in that space. I've visited it before. There's also like, the prophetic dreams. I have had the prophetic dreams, where quite a few actually, things that will happen or places that we move to or things like that. There was something else now that I wanted to talk about, but it slipped my mind. It'll probably come to me. If not, I'll maybe put it down in the comments if I remember. But so the one thing that I really did want to talk about as well, because I'll first be concentrating in the series. I'll be working with the dreams space first. Like when I say dream space, I mean like your unconscious, your subconscious mind. Sorry. And so one of the really incredible things for me with this was obviously there's packets of information, okay? There's symbols, there's things that your mind is leaving for you that you can go and unpack and you can go and work with. So to give you an idea, I had in my upbringing, I used to dissociate quite a bit, and when I started working on healing this, I went into I went into looking at why and how I could work with it. And like in the actual dream that I was having, because it gets to a point where if you're working with your dreams, if you're working with your symbols, you are able to, while you're dreaming, you're able to decode the language that your mind is speaking to you. There's a language that you develop with yourself, with your internal systems, um, so yeah, it was pretty cool because I was being shown, like, I was asking why is this dissociation been happening? How can I fix it? Like, how can I work with it? Which is it's an incredible tool, guys. I love it. I'm very passionate about this. Anyway, so I was shown everything and I was shown why. And then I was walking outside with someone and I was having a discussion with them outside of the house, which was, it's like the mind space. It was like where I was being shown everything first. But then I was outside and then I turned to this person and I said, but you know what? I've got a secret weapon. It's my dreams. So, yeah, it's like, just give you an idea. So that's also, I feel like this is available to everybody, and even no matter what level you're at, there are things that you can do and that to enhance your ability, and the more that you work with it, the more responsive you are, the more that you're able to take on, or the more attention that you give it, the more focus that you give it, the more the more this conversation happens. I feel like maybe I should also just say a little bit about, I don't know, like where everyone else is on their belief systems and what they understand. But, I like to work a lot with like Carl Jung's archetypes. You get sometimes in dreams as well, I get to meet archetypes, like the actual archetype, and I work with that. You work with like power animals or just animals in terms of like, I have a lot of talking animal dreams as well, where it's also to do with, aspects of yourself and how you embody certain aspects. It's really incredible how, our mind speaks in imagery and symbolism. And when we start working with, especially with when I'm talking now in the dream space, with your subconscious mind, there are emotions and things that you aren't able to access with your logic mind. It's the same as if you had to bypass the logic mind with your intuition, where you're going through into these deeper layers, and you are able to. It's like these little messages from yourself that you are getting, and you are able to understand, and you're alerted to things that you didn't even realize were something that you were working on, or what was truly bothering you. We will have these things going on, but we are at this level where we are just maybe moving through life, and we don't even realize why we are having a reaction to things, or so that for me is the biggest benefit, in terms of we are able to work through all of these dense layers of these conditioning and limiting beliefs and things that have happened to us upon our journey, that we don't know how much it's affecting us, or how. When we are able to work through that and clear that away, and also, I'm going to put this out there, it's not always for everyone, but it really is in their benefit. Even with our ancestors, our bloodlines, things that have come through and been passed down to us, that is also, everything is linked. And this is what I was getting to earlier, is like with the universe, everything is linked. I call it the soup. I've always called it the soup. But your symbolism within, when you start working with that, you also have a clearer mirror of the universe without. And so you begin to move through life as you clear all of this away. You begin to have this pure connection to your higher self, to your inner self, to your inner mind. That subconscious mind and the mind becomes that very, very close. It's not like this deep, deep, deep space that you have to track like a very far distance to get to. And when you're working like that, the universe is the holographic mirror. It is like the energy that we have is being projected and mirrored back to us. So when you're working very consciously with those elements within yourself, you begin to find that you are able to manifest very clearly. You are able to traverse your path very clearly. You begin to understand when you're feeling something, something will come up in your mind, and it's not like previously where you weren't even aware of it. It was just like some distant thought that might reach you. You've got like 10 million trains of thoughts, and then there's none of it actually comes through in terms of something that you can process, like consciously process. So when you've done that, a lot of that work, then you're moving through life in this beautifully aligned and integrated way. It's incredible. It's like that flow state that you get into. And I think that the other thing that I did want to say is, besides the benefit of that, oh yes, thank you. Sorry guys, I do have ADHD, so I also am all over the place in terms of my thinking. I don't think in a linear way, so bear with me. It always comes around though. So that's what I want to say. Okay, so with the ancestors, with working with any ancestry, anything like that, all of that's connected, all of that pulls through, maybe even in ways that you didn't realize, and also like in a very energetic way. So when you've cleared through all of these things, these things are, you can call it is your karma. It's part of your karma, but I feel that what I've come to understand is like the family karma is also a factor in terms of, it's difficult to move forward to a destined or clear path when you still have these things behind you, or these elements of patterns and beliefs and things that you're still trying to work through. And also, obviously, know thyself. That's a very important thing for us to understand ourselves, to know ourselves. To know ourselves is also to know the universe, and to know the unconscious, to know the collective. And you start to see how connected everything is. Like, I don't know where you are on your awareness of everything. I know, like, I was aware, to some degree, but then I've really come into a space where, I know that when I'm also working through certain things, certain people that are on a similar path, or, there's meetings that will happen, these synchronistic moments where you will meet someone, and it's not just something that you are benefiting from, it's something they are benefiting from too. It's like the perfect, magnetism in the soup, where these elements come together and there's this opportunity for growth. It's really, really incredible. So I feel like, and I don't say this lightly, I've thought about this, and for me, the dream space is the most powerful tool that we have for transformation. It is the most direct, I feel, besides the you needing to decode your mind's language. It's the most direct path that we have to being able to work with ourselves, our intuition, our understanding. Yes, we do all have abilities in terms of our intuition and so on. And maybe for some people, some other methods are easier. But I think on the whole, it's not just that it's because it's just for us. It's because of we all connected. Even Carl Jung's symbolisms, the collective unconscious, you begin to find how you can tap into that energy and interact with people, like, with the dreams that I was sharing with my sister. So I also, that I was sharing with my sibling. So I also had like this is what I wanted to tell you as well. There were periods as well where I was starting from the night before, so I'll have a dream, and then I'll continue the next day on as well. So I'll also have like a continuous stream of like a story that happens, another, like, and I'll revisit places, some incredible places that you can also go and see. It's incredible, like, in terms of adventure. But so this is also the reason I created this channel, is because I wanted to work with the collective I want us to explore. I want us to see, what we can do. I do have dream sigil readings, which you can access if you want to work on certain things. But there's also other stuff that I've got planned coming up in future as well. But I also wanted to make sure that if you are wanting to do this, if you are interested in this and you want to explore this further, that you have the tools to do so, that you at least have the understanding, or my own understanding, my own method. It's not necessarily like, I mean, I'm not going to like say I will give you my method, but you'll see that there's definitely room for you to bring in a little bit of your own magic. It must be room for you to bring in your own magic, because I mean, no one can. This is your pathway through, right? But yeah, like I've just I have this excitement in me to connect with people and to see what we can achieve, you know, to see the sky's the limit, you know, in terms of imagination, in terms of expansion of our consciousness as a collective. I feel like this is one of the very more exciting parts and more adventurous parts. So yeah, I think that was everything. I did make a few notes just in case, just in case I forgot something, but I don't think I did. Yeah, so if you are interested in it, I will be dropping a few more videos into the series, and some tips and things and how you can work with it, and yeah, a little bit more later on as well. But for the moment, it's to do with the dream space specifically. And yeah, I will also be there'll be a few more things coming up. So if you're interested in this, you can subscribe so you can get notifications when I drop those messages. And you can also go through to the Dream Sigil section as well to work with those. And yeah, please, any comments and questions, I'm really open to them. I encourage it. I would really love to connect with people that are also passionate about this, or just excited about it and keen to learn. And yeah, okay, cool. I'll see you guys in the next video.